So what you waiting on?
What?
Do you dream, Elliot? You scraping so hard like you ain't never asked yourself this before. I said, do you want to be here right now?
Along the way, you're going to need to do things you don't want to do or might not think you can do. It's okay to be scared.
That you are now at war within your own mind and body. You are going through a metamorphosis, my nephew. It will not be a pleasant experience. But when you come out of it, you will be the beautiful prince you are always meant to be.
You're going to see this video right before you enter a winning stage in your life. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling that you've been in a rut. You've been off. Things have been feeling maybe out of alignment for you for some time. But that's going to change very, very soon. You know, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And I believe that you have a purpose that you are destined to fulfill in this world. But in order to get there, in order to fulfill that purpose, you must go through a process. You must travel along this long and beautifully treacherous journey. With that comes a lot of hardship, a lot of adversity, a lot of discomfort, whether we like it or not. It's just part of the process. But I want you to know that although things may not have been going your way recently, you've been in this rut, you've been hitting dead end after dead end, repeat failure after repeat failure. The reason that you are going through this is because you are destined for something great.
You know, extraordinary things only happen to extraordinary people. Maybe it's a sign that you've got an extraordinary destiny. Something greater than you could have imagined.
Please stop making it so easy to be extraordinary. This world is so lost that all you have to do is be an honest person and keep some promises, and people think you're a superhero. I mean, if you open your eyes, the lessons are right in front of you. Listen to what makes old people regretful and ask yourself why you're doing the same exact things. Copy the people you look up to, and it freaking works. My God, all people ever want is some free pass. Well, the blueprint of other people's successes and failures is the closest thing you're ever gonna get.
And if one is passionate and committed in the noble pursuit of excellence within their chosen field, be that the arts, technology, science, humanitarianism, conservationism, then I would say one has a moral obligation and an ethical duty to be of service and to always strive to be part of the solution, not the problem. After all, it's a world that our children would inherit. That's worth being a part of. That speaks to me. Passion, action, noble intention creates progress.
Do you think that everyone has purpose?
The way I look at it is, you, Theo, were born with a DNA that will never be replicated in the past or in the future. It's a unique marker of you, right? So genetically, there is something different about you. Weird, odd, great, whatever you want to put it, okay? And it's like something that's planted at your birth. It's what makes you different from everybody else. That's like a seed at your birth. If you cultivate that seed, if you cultivate your uniqueness, it gives you a purpose in life. It's why you are unique. It's what makes you you. It's your energy, it's your character, it's your weirdness, it's your sense of humor. It's what draws you to certain things, what you hate about certain things. It's you. If you listen to that, it's like a voice inside of your head. Listen to that voice clearly. It directs you, it gives you a purpose.
What is your why? Why'd you even get out of the bed this morning? Why did you eat what you ate? Why did you wear what you wore? We are here to connect. Life is about people. Love, time, death. Now, these three abstractions connect every single human being on earth. Everything that we covet, everything that we fear not having, everything that we ultimately end up buying is because at the end of the day, we long for love, we wish we had more time, and we fear death. Love, time, death.
Natural to doubt yourself, but if you can push through that and do what needs to be done, you'll do just fine.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, "You've changed," remember it's because they don't know how to say, "You've grown."
If you were anything like me, you have to feel the pressure. You have to be challenged. You have to be put into uncomfortable scenarios because it wakes something up within you, something that craves life. That part of you that lies deep down will live again. It will live again. And it is when you are reconnected with this part of you that you realize that you can really do anything. No matter how hard it gets or whatever challenge you face, there's nothing that could ever stop you. As long as you are connected with this energy and you remain focused in your pursuit of legacy and fulfillment, there's nothing you cannot do. It doesn't get any simpler than that.
How many promises have you broken to yourself this week? Take a second and really think about that. Maybe it was the alarm you snoozed this morning. Maybe it was the workout you skipped yesterday. Now, here's the real question. How do those broken promises make you feel? You see, every time you tell yourself you'll do something and then you don't, a small part of you loses faith in yourself. And the scary part? You probably don't even notice. It's about the tiny defeats that stack up one after another. You think you're just skipping the gym? But what you're really skipping is the opportunity to prove to yourself that you're capable. You think you're just snoozing your alarm, but what you're really doing is training yourself to break your own word. These defeats, they don't happen all at once. They creep in slowly, infiltrating your mind, making you feel weaker, making you doubt yourself. But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. What if I told you there's one decision you can make today that will change everything? What if I told you that keeping the promises you make to yourself could unlock a level of mental strength you didn't even know you had? This video is not about motivation. It's not about hyping you up or telling you to just do it. This is about building discipline. Because discipline isn't about punishment. It's about freedom. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly proud of yourself? I'm not talking about the big moments like landing a job or finishing a degree. I'm talking about those quiet moments, the ones no one else sees, where you showed up for yourself, when it would have been easier not to. For most of us, those moments are rare. Why? Because we're losing the small battles every single day. And every time you break your own word, you're telling yourself, my promises don't matter. I don't matter. You might not realize it, but this is what's slowly draining your mental strength. It's why you feel unmotivated. It's why you feel stuck. It's why you feel like you're not enough. I've been there. I know how it feels. Let's talk about motivation for a second. Everyone's obsessed with it. I just need to find the motivation, they say. But let me tell you something. Motivation is a liar. It's unreliable. It's fleeting. And if you're waiting to feel motivated, you'll be waiting forever. Discipline, though. Discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline says, get it done anyway. Here's the truth. Discipline will take you places that motivation never could. When you build discipline, you don't need to rely on some magical burst of energy to get things done. You just do them. And every time you follow through, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. Imagine this, waking up every day and knowing you can trust yourself completely. Knowing that when you say you'll do something, it'll get done. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up day after day and proving to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. Let me share a story. There was a guy, ordinary like you and me. He wasn't the strongest or the smartest, but he was disciplined. Every morning he woke up at the same time, he trained at the same time, he ate the same meals. People called him boring, even obsessive. But you know what? He won. Not because he was special, but because he refused to lose to himself. That's what discipline does. It makes you unstoppable. Now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Discipline is important. But where do I start? Start small. Start today. Step 1. Set one non-negotiable goal. Just one. Maybe it's waking up at 6 a.m. Maybe it's drinking a gallon of water. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you commit to it, no matter what. Step 2. Eliminate decision fatigue. Don't give yourself options. If you've decided to train at 7 a.m., there's no debate. You're not asking yourself if you feel like it. You're just doing it. Step 3. Track your wins. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, write it down. Watch the list grow. Those little victories. They add up. But let me be real with you. You're going to mess up. You're going to miss workouts, hit snooze, and break promises. And that's okay. Failing doesn't mean you're a failure. Quitting does. The key is to get back up. To refuse to let one bad day turn into a bad week. Discipline is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger it gets, the easier it becomes to win those battles. At the end of the day, discipline isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about freedom. When you're disciplined, you're free from the guilt and regret that comes from breaking promises. You're free from the endless cycle of excuses and restarts. You're free to live the life you've always wanted. Start small, but start today. Win your next battle, and then the one after that. Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're proving to yourself that you're capable, that you're strong, that you're enough. You've got this. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's build discipline together.
feelings off when it comes down to you wanting to be better. What that means is when that alarm clock goes off, your feelings got to go away. If you want to achieve greatness.
The person that you have to spend the most time talking to in your life is yourself. Try not to lose that respect.
The quality of your life is determined by how you choose to deal with your boredom. Do you scroll or do you focus? Do you drink or do you train? Do you binge watch or do you read? Do you consume or do you create? Do you choose comfort or challenge? Do you choose pleasure or your goals?
When everything on the surface in life is loud and chaotic and noisy and out of control, it's people who go inward, who go deep within themselves and get quiet and calm, tranquility under duress. And most people operate on the surface in their lives. So the conditions dictate their temperament, their emotions, their behaviors. The happiest people, the most productive people, the people who make the best decisions, they can stay calm and quiet like the bottom of the ocean. When it gets noisy on the surface and chaotic, things are crashing around you. Go inward and go deep and find that calmness, find that equanimity. People that struggle in life get way too high when things are good and way too low when things aren't so good. And it's your ability to stay even, especially during tumultuous times, that makes the difference in your life. Too many of us run our families or our lives in such a chaotic fashion with things crashing all the time that not only does it affect our own decision-making, our own emotions, but it's affecting the people around us. These problems keep coming because of the way we respond to them. Are you somebody who's cool, calm, and collected under pressure? Or are you somebody that succumbs to their environment? Don't live on the surface. Live in the depths of your emotions, the depths of your relationships, the depths of your conviction, the depths of your character, the depths of your decisions, and you'll be a whole lot happier and more productive.
I realize you go higher, you go even more alone. Why? Because nobody is willing anymore to invest their energy in going higher, because it's becoming more difficult.
You'd only know that I was having a bad day if I told you, because I show up to what's expected of me regardless of how I feel. Now you might think this is a pursuit of ignoring my emotions, but really it's quite the opposite. When I feel that pit in my stomach of fear or sadness, I work so hard to recognize that the self-sustained difficulties, the run that I'm on right now, are the deepest forms of self-love. I am not immune to bad things happening that are out of my control, but when they do, and the lonely moments come about, I am there to pick myself up despite the pain.
You see success, yet you hesitate. I feel blocked, yet the path is clear. It's like the universe is saying it's not my time. The universe doesn't block, it reveals. And why does every step feel heavier? Because you're on the edge of change. You're not meant to tiptoe into success. It demands a cost. Cost that feels impossible to pay. You're afraid. No. I'm ready. I've worked too hard. Yet your heart races as you near the finish. Your feet falter. You don't understand. I want this. It's not fear. It's life. Life is unfair. You don't fear failure. You fear your own power. Feel it. Own it. You were not born to be small. I've been the one holding myself back. Yes, and now you see. Keep your foot on the accelerator. The wall breaks for those who do not flinch. Shatter it.
It's easy to show up when momentum is on your side and everything feels effortless. It's harder to show up when the climb gets steeper and progress feels invisible. But those are the moments that define you. The moments that separate the ones who say they want it from those who mean it. Because discipline isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Keep showing up, even when you're not at your best. You don't need to win every day. You just need to keep going.
The most important question is, people get to where they want to go because they know where they want to go. Most people don't know where they want to go. A lot of people are going and being driven by what they think they should do, what other people say they should do, what they have carried in their mind for a long time they should do. But the most important question you can ever ask yourself is, what do I really want? And the answer to that, once you can establish for yourself that the answer to that is, and have everything you do, every choice you make, move you in the direction of what you say your vision is. And when you do that, the forces of life rise up to meet you. The reason why most people have such chaotic lives is because they're living in chaos in their head. And as soon as you get clear, it clears up.
Piece by piece, and it's the consistency of the work. And so like the consistency of work, Monday, get better. Tuesday, get better. Wednesday, get better, right? And you do that over a period of time, not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and then you can get to where you want to go.
Once you take that first step, you look the beast in the face, and you'll start progressing, not linearly, but exponentially in speed. It doesn't really matter how small that first step is, because it'll start doubling, and anything that doubles grows unbelievably quickly. And so that's a very useful thing to know too.
Walk up to the plate and swing. Ain't no striking out in this game.
Purpose is stronger than object. What you want is important, but what for is even more important. So decide what you want it for, keep working on that.
Go and sit down quietly by yourself for 30 to 60 minutes. Most people in our society have never sat quietly for 30 to 60 minutes in their entire lives. Yet I will tell you this method works 100% of the time. That any problem that you have, any difficulty, any challenge, any goal that you want to accomplish, if you'll go into the silence and sit quietly and then listen to the still small voice within, this is the key. You will find that at a certain point, probably at about 25 to 30 minutes, your mind will go completely clear. And then a flow of ideas will start to flow into your mind. You'll feel energy welling up inside you. And at a precise moment, as you sit there in complete silence, your mind will go clear, and wham, exactly the answer you need will come at exactly the right time.
Limits. Don't let the world ever put limits on you. You can do anything you want to do. But make sure if you have a vision, make sure the vision is written. Make sure you have something to actually chase and not just hoping and wishing. Put your plan together. And then work the plan. Don't work somebody else's plan. You have to create your own brand yourself. And your brain is whatever you feel like doing, whatever your heart is passionate about, chase it.
Most people will not understand your obsession, your drive, and your determination. Success is a lonely journey. That's just a reality. And most people are not going to understand why you're so driven, why you're so obsessed. And if you try and make them understand, you're going to end up frustrated. The best advice I can tell you is go on the journey by yourself. It is the best journey, man. Leveling up, becoming the best version of yourself is the most awesomest journey you will ever go on.
Stop scaring yourself. How often do you terrorize yourself with your own thoughts? You get into absolute terror, and it's only coming from your thoughts. Nobody out there is doing a thing. We find so many ways to scare ourselves. Make a list of your fears and then give yourself the opportunity to turn each fear into a positive affirmation. Turn each one into something positive. And remember, always you are in charge.
One sleepless night I know you can take, but I recognize that your mind isn't fixated on the one. It's on the many that you fear will continue to happen. And for that, I am sorry. I know the pain of each one continues to compound, but I need you to recognize that you cannot allow the sleepless night to define you. It is simply an obstacle that involves you, and an eventual way through is inevitable. If you can find even just a second of okayness in your day, I need you to remember that that second will be there tomorrow, and just maybe the night will not be so daunting.
world will see you as you see you. People think that the world sees you a certain way and that that's how you are, and then you have to change it. That's not how it works. When you see yourself a certain way, the world respects that and sees you that way as well. And that goes for your habits, your lifestyle, or anything that you're trying to work on. We create the image that the world accepts, and other people think that the world tells us what to do.
There's this thing about people, and they talk about manifesting. It's fucking real, man. When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it like a maniac, like you're all in on this thing, and you manifest, most of these people end up doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become. And there's no excuses, there's no fucking days off, there's no not willing to grind, and everybody's against me and this didn't happen for me. It's these people who dive in and they're hardcore and they're focused and they know what they want, they know who they are, and they lay out these short-term goals and this roadmap on how to get there. Most of those people make it.
When you look at someone and you say that man or that woman has something that I don't have, you're telling yourself a justification as to why you can't do it. You're talking yourself out of it. They didn't have that ability either. They got it from showing up every day and executing, and especially when they don't feel like it.
Our minds are morphing from minute to minute if we let them. If you are not paying attention, if you are on cruise control, then your mind is not under your own control. We can't be in cruise control. You can't let your mind be in cruise control. You have to be cognizant of what you're thinking. You have to be aware of how you are being influenced. Because in this day and age, right now, if you aren't careful, you can slide down the path of least resistance, the path to weakness, and the path to a lack of control as to what is happening in our lives. In your life, life will happen to you instead of life happening for you. Do not allow that. You have to take control. You've got to do something to get control of your brain. You got to check yourself. Control the things you think about. You can actually control how you feel. You can control what you think, and you can definitely control what you do. You got to be the master of your mind.
The formula for failure: a few errors in judgment repeated every day for 1 month starts the weakness, starts the disaster process. You can imagine what happens in 6 years. Now here's the formula for success: a few simple disciplines practiced every day. Eliminate the errors and replace it with disciplines practiced. I'm telling you, you can start this process of life change immediately. After today, you don't ever have to be the same again, only by choice.
Self-pity is the worst possible emotion anyone can have, and the most destructive. It destroys everything around it except itself. Self-pity will destroy relationships, it'll destroy anything that's good, it will fulfill all the prophecies it makes and leave only itself. And it's so simple to imagine that one is hard done by and that things are unfair and that one is underappreciated and that if only one had had a chance at this, if only one had had a chance at that, things would have gone better, you would be happier if only this, that one is unlucky, all those things. And some of them may well even be true. But to pity oneself as a result of them is to do oneself an enormous disservice.
If you want to change your life, figure out how your worst day was your best day. You'll change everything, because it is if you look for it. If you find the deeper meaning, it is. There's something in you that wouldn't be there without it.
Face all your fears, that's how you conquer them. Don't dismiss them, just face them. Say, here's what I'm afraid of, I wonder what I could do to change that. Here's what you can do: pick a new destination and start going that way. You say, well, I've done this for the last 2 years, I'll probably have to do it another 2. And the answer is no, not in a million years. Now you can change 1 little degree at a time, or if you want to, you can revolutionize the whole thing.
The other thing is about life, when things happen to you,
When you permit things to use you, you can't change the past, but you can interpret. You can reinterpret how you see it. All of us have experienced some tragedy, and if we haven't, we will. And you can either let it destroy your life, or you can build upon it. You can permit it to let it hold you down, or you can decide, I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm bigger than this. Make a declaration to yourself. You can decide, I'm going to work on myself and develop myself. I'm going to empower me. And all of these things that are happening to me right now, they're just temporary inconveniences. Expect things to get better for you, because they are. See, life is cyclical. You're not, whatever experience you're having right now, it has not come to stay. It has come to pass.